In Beshalach, the children of Israel come out of Egypt. They head towards the land that's being promised them, but then they make a detour because there are Amalekites there on the coastal plain and they're not ready to face adversity just yet. So they turn back to go south in order to cross into Mount Sinai. And then Pharaoh, hearing that they've moved in a strange direction, seems to think they're confused, and this is an opportunity to bring them back and re-enslave them, and so he chases after them. The children of Israel, even though they've experienced the plagues and everything miraculous that has happened to them, when faced with the sight of Pharaoh's army coming after them, collapse. Oh, we want to go back home to Egypt. We don't want to take the risk. We prefer the world we know to the world we don't know, however difficult it might be. In the end, they're almost forced to go into the water, and the water parts. They come out on the other side. On the other side, seeing the Egyptians drown in the water, they burst into song. Shirat Hayam, the song of the sea. Salvation, they've been saved, we're so happy, thank God. God has enabled us to come through this all and will be with us in the future. And not only do they sing, but as soon as they've finished their song, Miriam starts up another song based on the same idea. They're singing all over the place. And yet, a few moments later, a few days actually, to be fair, in the wilderness, they're short of water, they're all complaining again, and they want to go back to Egypt. There's a strange kind of contradiction in the Torah between miracles one moment, joy, excessive joy, singing, and panic, depression, anger, frustration the next. In a way, it doesn't make sense. Surely, if you've experienced God, this should be with you throughout your life. If you've experienced something good, you should be able to appreciate it even when things turn the other way. And yet, that's what human nature is like. We may live in wonderful houses. We may have lots of money and all the material good, and we take it for granted. And the moment somebody gets ill or somebody dies, why is God doing this to me? We seem incapable of appreciating the good and only focusing on what goes wrong. That just seems to be the record of the children of Israel in the Bible and, frankly, of our lives as we examine them. The idea of singing is the idea of constantly being reminded of the happy things. And even when we sing the blues, we sing about the fact that there is a way out of this, there is a way forward. And in fact, the whole of the Torah is described as a shir, as a poem. And that's also very important, because poetry is not prose, it's not rational, it's not logical and consistent. Poetry, same word in Hebrew for song, means poem. Poetry and song are emotional expressions of feelings. And emotions are so important, they are so passionate, and yet they are so transient. In a way like marriage, which often starts off with amazing passion and then collapses into frustration and anger. The aim of Torah is to try to remind us through all the daily rituals, all these little customs that we have, to think and to appreciate how fortunate we are. We even have a blessing when we come out of the toilet in order to thank God that our bodies are functioning normally. We need to be reminded, and that's what sheer poetry song is there to do.